Okay, so here we finally are. It is time for me to give you guys a curling tutorial that you guys have been asking for since Claudie came out, which is basically how to maintain her hair. I know that a lot of people have a lot of questions of how I take care of my Claudie doll's hair and how I just take care of my dolls with curly hair in general. I have a lot of rules and regulations that I do with my curly hair dolls because with the curly hair dolls, they're manufactured a certain way that I don't want to mess with them. And I say specifically like curly hair dolls like number 26, Claudie, Cecile, the girls with the really tight ringlets. I have a very specific way of doing their hair, whereas the dolls like Caroline, Tenny, any of the dolls with the wavy wigs, I treat them differently and I put curlers in their hair. But today I want to share with you guys how I take care of American Girl dolls with curly hair like Claudie, like 26, like 67, any of the girlies with really tight ringlets. I know you guys have been asking for this for forever, and so I'm finally giving it to you guys with the brand new release of Claudie. Claudie has really tight ringlets, so this just seemed like the perfect opportunity for me to finally do this video. So before we get started, this is just the way that I like to do it. This is the way that I like to take care of my dolls with curly hair. Whatever method you have for you, by all means do it. I'm just gonna give you guys kind of disclaimers as to the other methods that I've seen people do and why I don't really specifically stand behind some of those methods, because I personally just find this method to be the easiest, the cleanest, and the least damaging to an American Girl doll with curly hair. Now, without showing videos, I have seen American Girl doll hair salons telling you to just wrap the curls around itself, where you just use the American Girl doll brush it out, and then basically twirl the brush around the curl. That method doesn't really work in the aspect that you're basically dragging down the curl and pulling down on it, as opposed to wrapping it around something and giving it structure like a rat tail comb. I've also seen people like misuse the rat tail comb and basically wrap the curl around itself, but continually wrapping it around itself, as in like not letting it stretch along the rat tail comb and instead wrapping it on top of itself, which I don't really prefer, only because that stretches out the curl and doesn't give you the best look for your American Girl doll with curly hair. So those are two methods that I've seen that I just would shy away from, because the first one kind of gives you droopy curls and over time it will make your American Girl doll's hair sag, and then the second method doesn't work because you're overlapping the hair on top of itself, and that really just doesn't give your American Girl doll the curls that should be there, and it also structures the curl to basically break apart and start forming a new pattern over time that it really doesn't want to do. On dolls with wavy hair, it's a little bit different because their hair is so loose that it's able to reconstruct and it not really damage the quote-unquote curl, whereas dolls like Claudie, 26, 67, any of those girls that have those really tight ringlets, American Girl manufactures them in a way that they're supposed to go a specific way, that if you try to break that, it really won't listen to you unless you go in, heat it down, and then like rebuild the curl from the bottom up, which I'm assuming no one's gonna want to do, and even I as a collector never want to do. That's just my opinion on those things. So when Claudie released and we were able to see a lot of stock images of her, specifically at the American Girl store, I saw all these prototypes of Claudie with huge hair, and yet in store her hair was so lackluster and it didn't really have the volume that I was expecting from an American Girl doll. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to basically achieve the big Claudie mane without damaging your doll's hair, and this is also again just the method I use for all my dolls with curly hair. So when the Claudie hype dies down, I'm going to probably change the title of this video to how I take care of dolls with curly hair, because the method I'm using right now is the exact same method that I do for dolls with curly wigs like 26, 67, 83, all those girls. This is the same method. So before you comment, oh, can you do this on Courtney? Like, no, because it's the same method. So I'm just letting you guys know, maybe in a year or two, I'll do like an updated version where I'll use a different doll. But for right now, this is the video I'm going to send people when they ask me how I take care of 26, 83, any of the curly girls in my collection. Like, this is the video. So without further ado, let's just get started. I'm going to show you guys the tools you're going to need and basically how to go about getting this big Claudie mane. So before we get started, I just want to say that everything that I am listing off here you can get at the local dollar store. It's super cheap. All of these items are extremely cheap. You do not need to go fancy with it. You do not need to go on Amazon and purchase any of these things and spend $10+ on these things. Just go to your local beauty supply store, go to your local Dollar General. In the beauty section, they always have these things. So please, by all means, do not think that this is expensive to do whatsoever. But the first thing you're gonna want is a spray bottle. Only put water into the spray bottle, nothing else. Water is the safest thing for your American Girl doll's hair. If you you start to add any sort of anything into your American Girl doll's hair, that will sit in your American Girl doll's hair until you wash it out. I do not recommend it. Human products are not meant for your American Girl doll. So if you are a collector that's like, oh, I put a little bit of conditioner in my water to kind of give it a little bit of moisture. No. Would you leave conditioner in your hair for more than 72 hours? No. That conditioner over time will not sit well in your American Girl doll's hair and just start to break down any of the manufactured things that they put in your American Girl doll's hair. I do not recommend it. Even wig sprays, all of that, the safest thing is always just water, 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 water. I've also heard a lot of collectors say, but oh, wig sprays are meant for wigs. American Girl dolls have wigs. Yes. However, a human wig or even a synthetic wig can be taken off. If you put product in your American Girl doll's hair, unless you are planning to detach that wig, that product that you put in your doll's hair can seep into underneath her wig cap. And with just weather conditions, her sitting for a very long time, her not being played with, even if you were playing with her, that product can literally sit between the actual quote unquote scalp of her hair and the wig. And over time, it can really start to do some damage. It may loosen up some of the glue. I know this sounds like extreme stuff, but also it may start to make your American Girl doll's hair smell bad. But like synthetic wigs for humans, even if you put it on their ends, it can go onto their vinyl. Don't do it. Don't try it. Better safe than sorry. I just wouldn't recommend it. Next, you're gonna want some sort of clip. You can get 2 clips or 3 clips or however many clips you need. I think that at the dollar store, they basically come in a pack of 6. You can get gator clips or you can get just regular jaw clips, but I do not recommend ones that have jewelry on them because the jewelry may snag up the curls that are already finished and also snag and get tangled in your American Girl doll's hair. You also are going to want a rat tail comb. A rat tail comb is different than a foiling comb. A foiling comb is extremely skinny and it kind of has like a metal piece at the end, whereas a rat tail comb has some thickness to the end of it. So I definitely recommend a rat tail comb. Then the next thing you're going to need is a toothbrush, a hard bristle toothbrush. Any toothbrush really works, but you're not going to want it to be soft, just so that way you can smooth out any frizziness and also smooth out the ends. So that way your American Girl doll's hair is nice and really smoothed over. And last but not least, you're just going to want to get your standard wire wig brush. And I always recommend the one from our generation. It is very inexpensive. And it also comes with a little cute spray bottle, which is really all you need for your American Girl doll, whether you're collecting, hairstyling, whatever you may be doing. All you're going to need is that little spray bottle that comes with the our generation one. So, you know, you kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone with the our generation one. So those are available at Target. You can also buy them online and they are usually on sale for like $7.99, so I always recommend those. So I just wanted to show you guys what Claudie's hair looks like in the meat hairstyle. When you take out the bow, it is like an actual ribbon. So underneath it is a plastic elastic, and I'm just going to cut that off, not pull it, and then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. As you guys can see, Claudie's hair isn't really meant to be taken out of the hairstyle, kind of like Samantha's. If you take down Samantha's partial ponytail, the front pieces are longer, and if you take out Josefina's braids or Kaya's braids, there is going to be some jaggedness. So the same thing goes for Claudie. There are a lot of long pieces. You're going to see one very long piece in the front of her hair that I'm either going to have to snip or I am going to have to recurl, re-steam, and basically get some more jump into it. Here I am just showing you guys my tools and basically me getting started with all of the specific tools that I use. If you guys want to take notes of just what they look like, you can. They're all available on Amazon. I basically just gave you guys already a detailed description of every tool that you're going to want, and let us just get started. So starting off with sectioning, you're going to want to start from the bottom. First things first, I always go seam by seam, which is very different than section by section. Seam by seam, you're going to want to go all the way down, and since she has rows and rows of wig cap, you're going to want to go to the farthest one down and section off all of that hair. If you want to get bigger curls, you're going to want to use more sections, but the true key to this is just making sure that all of your sections are clean and that no hair is staggered between sections, if that makes sense. I personally don't like to grab more hair because the curls get bigger and I like more volume than I do thickness of the curls. But if you want to get bigger curls, then just grab more hair when you are splitting her hair for the curls. Now, once you have created a clean section, all you're going to want to do is clip everything up, get your spray bottle, and you're going to start to lightly mist all of the hair that is in the section that you have gathered. Water does activate the curl in American Girl dolls, so especially if they're new, that water will definitely help you in the long run. Then with whatever wire wig brush you get, you're going to want to start from the bottom and work your way up to the top, getting rid of all the tangles until you can run your brush smoothly through her hair to make sure all tangles are out. And then grabbing your rat tail comb, you're going to want to section out your first curl. These are the tiny sections that I grab because I am absolutely insane. You're going to want to go in with your comb, make sure that it is nice and tangle free, and then you're going to want to start to grab the curl and wrap it along the rat tail comb all the way down. Do not wrap it around itself. You're going to want to wrap the curl all the way down, and with your toothbrush, you're going to want to smooth out the ends. You're going to want to make sure that that curl at the end is nice and smoothed out with that toothbrush, and then let it go. And then there you have your first beautiful curl. So to basically repeat the next curl, you're going to want to grab a small section. Again, you can grab bigger sections if you would like to with more hair, and you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that it's nice and tangle free, and you're going to want to then wrap it around your rat tail comb all the way down the tail of the rat tail comb. Make sure that it is nice and smoothed out at the ends with the toothbrush, and then you're going to want to let go of the curl once it is nice and smoothed out. This may take some practice, but honestly, once you start to get a good pace on it and once you start to get used to the hand movements to it, it does start to become faster and easier. And I will say this right now, that me doing these tiny sections is very tedious, but I like the effect that it gives the dolls and their curls. So again, that is just me. But also keep in mind that with these curls, you're always going to want to go to the left because American Girl manufactures the dolls and their hair to go to the left when it comes to their curls. So always wrap the curl towards the left of her head, never to the right, because it will jump and it will not look correct. If the curls are not looking this way, it is because you are not going in the right direction, or because you're taking too big of a section, or because you are taking too little of a section, which I don't actually think is possible with this doll, because as you can see, I'm taking tiny sections and just repeating the same process over and over and over again. As you guys can see, I'm literally just doing the exact same thing over and over and over again until I lose my mind. Wrapping the hair all the way down the rat tail comb. I cannot stress that enough. Wrap it around the entire tail, and then you're going to want to smooth out the ends so that way the ends do not look dry, and you want to make sure that everything is nice and pretty. Try to not twist the hair as you go down the rat tail comb. That's a big problem I see, is like you're twisting it as you go down. Don't do that. Try to let the hair be flat on the rat tail comb, if that makes sense. You'll kind of feel what I mean. Don't twist the hair individually and then wrap it around. You're going to just want to let it lay itself down around the rat tail comb and let the rat tail comb form the curl for you. Don't twist the hair beforehand and then try to form it onto the rat tail comb. It will not look cute. I am really picking up a pace, and these curls are coming out very nice. This genuinely takes me roughly about an hour. If I am being very just in my own head, I will be there for an hour and a half. But I find this very therapeutic, if I'm being completely honest. Very therapeutic, and I enjoy it. I will turn on Schitt's Creek, watch a show, have my rat tail comb, have my spray bottle, have my comb, and I have my toothbrush, and I will just sit there and for about an hour just watch TV, listen to it, and mindlessly do this without even focusing on anything else. It's very relaxing. It's like knitting. That we are at the top of her head, it does become a little bit easier because the wig cap is a little bit more constructed at the top, and you can really see the rows and rows of her wig cap. Again, you don't need to be this crazy with it. I just love how voluminous and big her hair is in the stock photos of her, so of course I wanted to replicate that. So again, just wrapping the curl around the rat tail comb, smoothing it out with my toothbrush, and then letting it go. It's very simple, very easy. You also would do the exact same thing with her tendrils. I'm not necessarily going to show that in this video because I don't like the tendrils in her hair. I just will push it back, and you can kind of just add the tendrils into whatever curl is right next to it. But if you want to keep the tendrils in her hair, then you're going to want to do the exact same thing. Her tendrils are long enough that you can do it, or put in a curler in her hair like the really tiny ones, and it will definitely make those look really cute. So again, this is how I do the curls for all my dolls with curly hair. My dolls with wavy hair will be an entirely separate video because that involves curlers. That involves a whole other set of drama. So definitely let me know in the comments if you guys want to see a video on how to curl wavy hair dolls. I would definitely be very happy to do it. If you guys want to follow this in real time, also just change the settings on this video and you can follow it along. But here are the two Claudies side by side. As you guys can see, there is a shape difference between the two dolls. Like the left one has more of like the heart shape, whereas the right one has more of like the rounded shape. And I think that's because it's just dependent on how they cut the hair when it's in its meat hairstyle. But yeah, those are what the two girlies look like. I really do hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys want to, again, definitely slow down the speed of this video so you guys can really see my hand movements and see what I'm doing. But for the most part, it is very simple. And once you get the hang of it, trust me, you will start to curl all your American Girl dolls hair. This is my favorite wig. It's just very time consuming, which is why I don't like to use it a lot. And if I do get a doll that has this wig, I always make sure that I take the time to go in row by row on their hair and give their hair the time that it deserves. That's just like the collector in me. That's just me being very anal about my American Girl dolls. So again, you don't have to be this extreme with it, but I hope this helps you get a ballpark of how to maintain and care for your American Girl doll with curly hair. All right, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, I hope it did help. My name is Chris. You guys can follow me on my Instagram, which is @thedollstudio by Chris. Make sure you guys follow my behind the scenes account. I post a lot of updates on there and pictures on there. Definitely go follow that. And then of course, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below and let me know if you guys are going to be trying this out. If you guys got Claudie, what your thoughts are on Claudie, all of that stuff. All right, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.